be like, this Esme, banned, Netflix, stalker, weirdo girl. Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. Today we're going to be talking all about the red carpet at Bridgerton that I went to recently with Netflix. So if you're not a Bridgerton fan, don't worry, I won't be talking much about the show. And also, if you are a fan and you're worried about spoilers, don't worry, I won't be giving any spoilers either. But I thought I would talk to you guys all about my experience, getting ready, going to the red carpet, some rude influences that I met. But anyway, moving quickly on, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. So Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, but they also ship all over the world. Also, I know I've been banging on about this on the podcast recently, but when this podcast goes out, it is 1 week to go until my meet and greet there, which I'm so excited for, on the 29th of June. Be there or be square. Anyway, also, thought I would give you a little sneak peek because I have some very exciting news coming up soon. But if you are at that meet and greet, all I'm going to say is there's going to be something special there that you guys might see before other people. So I'm leaving it at that, but keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, on to today's episode, which I'm excited to chat to you guys about. I feel like I need to debrief you all about the situation, like what's been going on. A bit like a little cute, I feel like the podcast is just like me chatting to the girls. Anyway, thought I would talk to you all about the red carpet that I did recently, which still feels like a very weird thing to come out of my mouth because at school I was not one of the cool girls. If you couldn't tell, I had like two uncool points. Number one, I was a horse girl, and number two, I was the kid that had a YouTube channel, which nowadays everyone wants to be a content creator. Everyone wants to be like TikTok famous, that kind of thing. So I feel like everyone just like makes content on the internet now, even if it's like, you know, for your friends and family, goofing around, being funny, that kind of thing. But we're talking back when I was at school. If you had a YouTube channel, you would get teased. People would be like, oh, you're trying to like be a YouTuber, blah, you're never gonna make it, blah, like that kind of thing. So anyway, I thought I would talk about the premiere because there were lots of influence. I don't know if I like the word influence. I don't know if I'd even call myself that. Like some people love it, some people hate it. But I'd say I'm more of a content creator because that's what I do. I make content. You know, I make my YouTube videos, do the podcast, photos, Instagram. I've got the books as well. Like, you know, I'm a busy gal. I do more content creation than like influencing and selling. But unfortunately, you know, in my job, I do have to do that in order to, you know, make sure that I can look after the horses, keep the channel going, keep making videos and stuff for you guys. But anyway, so it felt a little bit daunting going there. Do you know what it felt like? It felt like my first day of school because I went in there on my own and did not know anybody. But before we get onto that, I thought I would talk about the sort of get ready process for a red carpet because, you know, this is a big thing. There's like loads of press there taking your photos. You want to be looking cute. You don't want to be looking like you've just been dragged through a hedge, which is what I normally look like with the horses. Sometimes actually I have been dragged through a hedge, but we're not going to talk about that. That's a different story. Anyway, so I'm very lucky that my hairdresser very kindly did my hair that morning. So she did me a lovely blow dry and curled it and that kind of thing. So I was like, oh yeah, I got my cute hair. And then I'm very lucky to work with the brand Shortakai, who is a makeup brand, and I actually went to one of their retailers, and my friend Diego, who actually has done my makeup before, he is so lovely. So shout out to Diego, he is awesome. So he did my makeup for me for the red carpet. So we did look for the Crown red carpet, which was the second red carpet I've done with Netflix. So the one that I did the other day was my third, which again, very surprised that they've reinvited me, but cheers Netflix, thank you very much. I'm always down to go for a party. Anyway, so for the Crown we definitely went for a more of like a safe look, especially as the Crown is very regal, very kind of more natural makeup. We did go a little bit out there. We went for a bit of a smoky eye because it was an evening. I had a black dress on, that kind of thing. But Diego was like, Esme, you suit a red lip, and I have been wanting to do a red lip on you for ages. So he was like, okay, we're going to go for a red lip. I was like, okay. I was like, work your magic, do what you want to do, because he was like, oh, what sort of look do you want to go for? And I was like, Diego, you are the makeup artist, you are the professional, do what you think will suit me and do what you want to do, because, you know, I'm down. Like, this is not every day that you get the opportunity to have your makeup professionally done. So I tell you what though, I haven't had my makeup done professionally that much, but when you do have it done, it is, I don't know, I just find it so relaxing. I felt like I wanted to like fall asleep almost, which I felt a bit rude because like he was chatting away and I was just like, I just could like, you know, just close my eyes and just drift off right now, because what I didn't realize when you have your makeup done professionally is there's so much like skincare that goes behind it all, and like all the kind of like behind the scenes of stuff. So yeah, I was like there for at least like 20 minutes, half an hour of just having loads of nice creams and skincare stuff put on my face. So my face felt like a newborn baby. It was all soft afterwards. So maybe I need to do that a little bit more. It's my face is used to being out in the wind and the rain and the mud. Actually, maybe the mud's quite good for it. You know, people do go for a mud facial. So there we go. But yeah, a little bit different to what I'm used to day to day. So I had like I felt like I was getting ready for prom. I had like a full on, actually, to be fair, my prom that I had when I was 16, I did my own makeup because I was too scared to go to a makeup artist, because I was like, what if they do something and I don't like it? I know some people do go for a makeup trial. I think I got put off because my friend went for a makeup trial and she absolutely hated it, so she just ended up doing it herself. So I was like, I'll do it myself. But anyway, no, Diego did an incredible job. And just one thing I do want to say though is, you know, when you look online and you see celebrities, you know, like, oh my gosh, flawless, gorgeous, I could never look like that. Just go to a makeup artist and sit in a chair for almost 2 hours, because when I do my makeup, 10-15 minutes max, maybe 15-20 minutes if I'm going for like a full on. To be fair, I don't do eyeliner. I think that's what it is. Like, the eyeliner takes a long time. I just can't do eyeliner on me, and I don't like, for maybe like a little red carpet or something special, like, it's fun, but I'm definitely more of a less is more kind of gal. But anyway, yes, all I'm going to say is 2 hours in a makeup chair, you look like a different person. You don't, like, I felt like I had the bold glamour filter on TikTok. That's the only way I can describe it. I was looking at myself, I was like, this does not look like me. I am a catfish right now. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. All those celebrities, you know, when they go to the Met Gala, you best believe that they are sitting in a makeup chair for at least 2 hours to look the way that they do. That is not how everybody looks. I bet you, well, actually, maybe Kim Kardashian, she seems like the sort of gal that has a makeup artist that does her makeup like every morning for her. But most celebrities, how they look on the red carpet is not probably how they look in their day-to-day life. So don't hold yourself to those standards, because I tell you what, I looked very different. But anyway, Diego did an awesome job. I was feeling cute. If you haven't seen the photos from the red carpet, I'm going to audio describe you the dress that I was wearing. So it was actually, some people might know this, some people might not, but I did an outfit repetition. That doesn't make sense. I am an outfit repeater because it was kind of like a last minute invite. Netflix, well, it wasn't actually Netflix who invited me, the way these kind of things work, because when I first started off doing YouTube and content creation, I was like, oh, I always wonder, like, how do these people get invited to all these cool things? So normally it's due to somebody's like management agency, so they like, I don't know, people know people. It's one of those jobs where it's not what you know, it's who you know a little bit. But I am very lucky that my Instagram account has grown to the size where I am now on Meta's list. So I have a lady from Meta that I talk to regularly every now and again. And she very kindly invited me to The Crown and also to Bridgerton. And then I don't know if I can say yet. I'm going to keep it toxic. Actually, when this podcast goes out, it will have happened, unless something horrible happens and it gets rescheduled. But hopefully next week, I have been invited to the Meta/Instagram headquarters in London, and I'm going to be meeting the CEO of Instagram, basically. And I'm going to be chatting to him about the platform as a creator, things that I think could improve, things that I think they're doing well. And also, to make things a little bit more lighthearted and fun, apparently we're doing a bake-off. So I'm going to have to, take in my inner Mary Berry, which I feel like is precious on. At least I'm not a baking YouTuber or Instagrammer or content creator, because that would be embarrassing if that was like what I did and I didn't win. Or to be fair, I am a very competitive person. You guys listened to the last episode where I was driving around, zooming real fast in the ride and drive. So maybe this weekend I need to get my baking on. Actually, I don't know if it's just baking or cake decorating. If it's cake decorating, I feel like that's going to be a bit easier. And I'm a little bit artistic. I think I can make things look pretty. I don't know how well it's going to taste, but so yeah, that should be really fun. I don't really know what to expect, so that will be interesting. But anyway, back to the red carpet. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you. How did I get onto this? Outfit repeating. That's what I was talking about. So the dress that I was wearing was this beautiful lilac-y kind of lavender one that I bought it 2 years ago, and it was for when I was invited to Blenheim Palace for the cocktail reception drinks media evening to promote that's very different words, to promote the horse show there. I feel like I'm being such a show off here, being like, oh yeah, I was at this premiere and then I was invited to a palace, and that is not me at all, but it goes with the story, guys. It goes with the story. I hope you don't think I'm trying to like show off or anything here, because it is still a very much pinch me moment, if you couldn't tell, which I'm still buzzing and really excited about all of this, because it's not what little horse girl Esme ever expected would be her job or would be able to do with her life. So there we go. Anyway, so I've worn that dress before, but I styled it differently. So this time I had the Esme jacket from Fairfax and Favour that I was wearing, and tell you what, I am saying this out there, the Fairfax and Favour Monaco wedges, I wore these white wedges. I think they're actually supposed to be like wedding shoes, but I'm not getting married anytime soon, so I'm like, girl, I want to wear some cute white heels. I'm going to wear cute white heels. Don't need a man to do that. Anyway, so I wore those heels all the way around the Royal Chelsea Flower Show, and I also wore them the whole day, like in London, like traveling to London, because I was like, I don't have room in my when you go to like fancy things like red carpets, you can only bring like a certain size bag. You can't bring a whole like rucksack in like you're doing your Duke of Edinburgh award. You can only, can you imagine like little year 7 on your first day of school with all your textbooks in? No, you can only take like a small little bag. So I couldn't bring a spare pair of shoes anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna wear these ones because they're nice and comfy. So maybe it's just the way that my feet are, but I do find the Monaco wedges from Fairfax Favour very comfy. Also, hate to be that person, but if you are interested in those heels, you can get them from Red Post, I'm pretty sure, because they do stock Fairfax and Favour bits and bobs. But anyway, so yeah, I had the Esme jacket on as well, which I have worn so much. I promise they haven't been like, Esme, we named this jacket after you, you have to wear it to everything now. No. It was a shock when I found out that it was called Esme as well. Well, I hope it's named, I'm pretty sure it's named after me. If not, me being like that is a bit embarrassing. But anyway, yes, this jacket, it is just, I have worn it to everything. I wore it to Chelsea. I'm being that person now, saying all the cool things I've been to. But anyway, back to the red carpet. So I met up with Belle at the park, my meta lady, and she was like, girl, nobody is here yet. You're just gonna have to go in, because the time slot for walking the red carpet, like, time is ticking. You're just gonna have to go in on your own. I was like, okay then. I felt like my parents were dropping me off at my first day of school. I just had to be like, bye guys, see you later. Because I was really lucky for the crown. I had a +1, so my friend Lydia came with me. But for this one, when I told all my friends they were going, they were like, please can I be a +1? I was like, I'm not allowed a +1. I was a little not upset, but there were some spots in the cinema where people obviously did a no-show, and I was like, girl, I've got like a truckload of friends. Well, I don't want to be like, guys, I got so many friends, but I was like, I have so many friends that like would love to come with. Excuse me. He dropped his phone. That shocked me. The noise of this phone dropping actually made my heart drop. I'm such a jumpy person. Anyway, yes, so was very, very lucky that I got to go in, and they gave me like a little little invitation, and I felt very special because my invitation had a holographic stickery thing on. So there were 2 different like sides that you could go down, and I went down the VIP side. So that was very weird, surreal. So for this red carpet, even though I was going in on my own, I wasn't as nervous because I'd done something like this before. So the previous one for the Crown was at South Bank, when this one for Bridgerton was at Leicester Square, which I'd say the Leicester Square one I thought was going to be a little bit bigger because obviously it's a little bit more central. That's where they have like the big Odeon, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't, maybe it was as big. I don't know. I'd say there were more paparazzi and cameras and photo opportunities at the Crown, because that was very much like a long line, just one wall that had like the Crown Netflix on, and then I had to stand in like maybe like 9, 10, 11, 12 different places, and there were a lot more cameras there. When I'd say for the Bridgerton one, it was more of an experience, which I thought was so fun. So there was the red carpet that you kind of walked into first, so there was like a little bit of a queue, and there was some girls there, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll try and like make friends with them, I'll say hi. Now I don't want to like, I didn't actually know who these people were, and to be honest, nobody there knew who I was. So, you know, I'm not here to judge, but I thought, oh, like they were in like a girl kind of group clique, and I think they were there with their manager as well, and their manager was taking all their photos, and I like kind of like went up like, hi, I'm Esme, nice to meet you, and they kind of like, they didn't, you know, like they could have just been like, oh, hi, like that kind of thing, and they kind of just like looked at each other, kind of smirked in like a mean girl kind of way, and then walked off, and I was like, okay, enjoy. You probably looked at me and be like, I don't know who you are. I probably have more followers than you, and you can get lost. So I was like, okay, I feel like I'm back at secondary school when I asked the mean girl what the time was and she blanked me. Okay, anyway, moving swiftly on. Luckily, there was a really lovely girl called Rosie who then came in after me and was behind me in the queue. So I ended up chatting to her, and I used to be a really shy person. And I think I've finally got to the stage where talking to new people isn't scary, even though those girls did blank me very rudely. And I was like, okay, this is how it's going to be then. You know, really setting a good example for all the influencers and people out there, because I get quite nervous when I meet new people and I tell them what I do for a job. Because I'm like, are they going to like look up all my social media and be like, this girl's really weird? Or are they going to be like, oh, she's an influencer, she's a mean girl, she's really horrible and nasty and think she's better than everyone else, which is not me at all. So anyway, my best advice, if you want to make new friends, because when you get thrown into a place like that, you know, it is tricky to like say hi to people, especially when you're a little bit more on the shy side like me. So anyway, with Rosie, I was the one that I initiated the conversation. She looked there like, I don't know anyone, what am I doing? You know, we were in the same boat. I was like, you look friendly, you look nice. The other girls weren't, I didn't recognize them, so I don't think they were like TikTokers. I think they were more like Instagram model kind of girls. But anyway, this girl Rosie that I met, she was really lovely, and I just said, oh hey, do you want me to like take a photo of you on your phone? I can get some behind the scenes shots if you like. And she was like, oh yeah, that'd be perfect, thank you so much, I can take some photos of you. And then like she had a really pretty dress on, so I was like, oh my gosh, your dress is beautiful. And then we just got kind of like chatting, and you know, if sometimes, you know, just go up to people and say hi, just be like, there was another girl that I met in there called Jade, and she was really lovely, and she brought a friend along with her, so she looked really friendly, so I just went up to her. I was like, hi, my name's Esme, I'm here on my own this evening, I haven't done many red carpets, I was wondering like if I could just tag along with you guys, because I took some photos of her earlier as well. So it's just very much like, that's a really good way to like at a red carpet to talk to people, be like, hey, do you want me to take a photo of you, or like, hey, that kind of thing. So she was really lovely. She was like, yeah, sure, tag along. And then we were talking about our different niches. So she was more like into the study kind of YouTuber, university kind of stuff, and I was like, I'm into horses. She's like, oh my gosh, I used to ride horses for 10 years. So I actually managed to find a lot of people that actually used to ride horses. So I was like, perfect, I can talk about horses for days, because normally at like horsey kind of shows and things that I go to, when I meet people, you just end up talking about your horses. It's like when you meet another horse person, it's very easy to talk about horses, because I don't know, I guess it's like mothers talking about their children. I'm just here like, oh yeah, this one's Joey and this one's Duke, and like I'm like, they're not going to be able to know the difference between all of them, but I don't care. Anyway, so the red carpet experience. So something I've learned from doing this kind of thing is just don't be awkward. If you're shy and my dad always calls me a shrinking violet sometimes, but if you're shy and you feel embarrassed, then you're going to look awkward. You're going to look like the weird girl that doesn't know what she's doing. But if you go up and you go, I know what I'm doing, I've done this a million times. You might not have, it might be your first time, but if you act confident and act like you know what you're doing. So when I went on the red carpet, I was like, I know how to pose. I can pose. I can do this. I felt like maybe on the train, I was like listening to my like girl boss hype me up kind of music, getting ready to go. But yeah, sometimes I think of like a song that, I don't know, gets me like excited and pumped up, that kind of thing, and I'll just be like, oh yeah, just striking a pose to that in my head, because I don't know if anybody else is this, but I always have like I have like a song of the day, and it just constantly goes around in my brain as I'm thinking. I'm one of those people that has a very busy brain, but anyway, so I just went out there, did all my poses, tried to do what all the other people were doing, and I felt like I did all right, because Rosie was like, girl, have you done this before? You know how to work your angles. I was like, thank you. I will take that compliment, because I definitely don't know what I'm doing. But so there was like a little red carpet bit, and then there was this really beautiful Bridgerton archway, because if you haven't seen Bridgerton, again, this podcast is not going to have any spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, but also if you're not a Bridgerton person and you're not interested in the show at all, do not worry. I'm not just going to be chatting about the show and you're going to be like, Esme, I don't know what you're talking about. Who is Lady Whistledown? What are you going on about? Anyway, so there was this beautiful archway with flowers on. It's very aesthetic. That's how I describe it. Like, it's very me. Everything is very floral, very pastel, very pretty, very kind of princessy. So there was this pretty archway. So there was obviously the red carpet, the thing that said Netflix, Bridgerton, that kind of thing. And then there was the archway that had some photos on. And then we walked through, and they had decorated it beautifully. Like, they had put so much effort into it, because it felt like the sort of road in Mayfair where the show is set, with all the pretty houses and the wisteria and the flowers. And what was really cool is that they had I'm pretty sure, I don't want to get this wrong, I'm pretty sure that there were some people that were like really dressed up, and they were kind of like in the background, and I'm pretty sure that they were fans. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, they were extras in the show and I just didn't realise, or like they were actually like in the show and I just didn't know, or like they were really famous TikTokers and I just have been living under a rock. But I'm pretty sure that there was some like mega fans of the show that maybe won a competition or something, and they were all dressed up and they got to be there and got to watch everyone walk the red carpet and all the celebrities. But there were lots of different photo ops. So they had like a little house door, which was like the door in the show that you could have your photo taken. So I got some photos there. And then they also had like more just like really pretty backgrounds. They had the balloon as well, the hot air balloon. That's a big thing in season 3. There's a balloon in that. Again, no spoilers, but you know, there's a hot air balloon. That's not really a spoiler, is it? So anyway, got some photos with that. Not an actual real one. I don't think that would have fit in the middle of Leicester Square, but they had a cool like little makeup one. And then just my dad, so they were filming the whole thing, and my dad was sitting in Leicester Square kind of like park, because they had a big TV screen, so there were loads of like fans out there, and they were all kind of like watching it, because there was a lady there like interviewing all the cast when they came up. So obviously I was there at the perfect time, because I'd just been getting my photo done on one of the walls, and then apparently they filmed that on the TV, on the live stream. I don't know where that was, but I don't know, maybe somewhere on Netflix, I don't know. But anyway, so they were filming this like live stream, and I was there on the screen, on the telly, doing my little pose, taking my photos, and my dad was on the phone to my nana, being like, oh yeah, Esme is like at the red carpet tonight, like updating on what I'm up to. And then my dad was like, wait a sec, she's on the telly, quick! Tried to like end the call, quickly get his phone up so he could film it, but I'd walked off by then. And then straight after I walked off, the interviewer lady walked on, and they were like, okay, no more photos in this area, everyone's going to stand still, because they were doing this panning shot. So they had like a full-on camera crew, TV crew there, and there was this camera, and they did this like swipe across shot, and there was literally this guy there, and his sole job was to make sure that nobody got taken out by this camera. So I had to like move on back, and then I was just standing there, and we got held up because she was chatting about the show, being like, okay, and welcome to the bloody blah show, and we're here for the Netflix premiere of Bridgerton. That was my really good presenter voice. Anyway, so, and then right behind me, who comes up? All the cast. And I'm like, wow, I have finessed this. What is luck? Like, I was there, and then I was like, wow, this is brilliant. So anyway, they also had like a little inside area where they had this guy playing the piano and all the like classical music, very nice. There was like obviously drinks and refreshments and little bits and bobs. There were lots of selfie and photo ops as well. So of course, took lots of photos. I was like, I'm taking this all in, because I'm like, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this as a job. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to like hold on to this like 5 minutes of fame or whatever I've got going on here. I was like, I'm just going to take in every single second, try and live in the moment as much as I can. Because it's not every day that you get to walk a red carpet. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for listening to the podcast and watching my videos and supporting my social media, because I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. So I am forever very, very grateful and very, very thankful. But so that was very, very cool. And then we all got kind of ushered into the cinema room where when we first walked in, the lady that was doing all the interviews, it was up on the screen, so we got to watch the live stream. So because there wasn't that much place to kind of stand and mingle and that kind of thing, they were just like, everybody into the cinema. So anyway, once we were sitting in the cinema and had our refreshments, they also had popcorn. So you best believe I kept the popcorn box that says Bridgerton on, because I am that much of a nerd. Also, I was sat next to this girl, and she was like, I haven't seen any of it, but it's an evening out, something fun to do. Like, it sounded like she'd been to quite a few red carpets before, and I was like, girl, I am like pinching myself that I am here. I am a big fan of the show. I have watched it all. I even, like, before I knew I was going to the red carpet, I even had on my phone a date and a reminder that the show was coming out on this day. Like, I am that kind of person. But anyway, so it was, I tell you what, I've only been to 2-3 screenings of like red carpet kind of things, but it's a little bit of a different vibe to when you go to the cinema, because I'd say maybe this is just British people, because I know that maybe in like certain countries and cultures, there's like, maybe in the cinema it's different, but in the UK, when you go to the cinema, it's really rude if you talk or if you make any noise or that kind of thing. Like, you just sit down, you watch the film, you're quiet. My jaw clicked then. At a red carpet though, because it's, a room full of like influencers, and basically it was a room full of Gen Z for this one. The Crown was a little bit different. There was a few older people there, but it was basically a room full of Gen Z, and we were all like cheering, whooping when there was something funny, like everyone was laughing. It was so much fun, and you could tell that there were a lot of people that were just absolutely loved the show. And I tell you what though, all I'm going to say is I don't know if Bridgerton is the sort of show that you should watch with your parents, because, or if you're younger, it is a bit of an adult show. That's all I'm going to say, especially season 3. I'd promise no spoilers, but all I'm going to say is there is some steamier scenes, and if you find that awkward watching with your family members in the room, think about what it's like with a whole room of strangers. So there we go. That's all I'm saying. But it was quite funny, and people didn't make it awkward, because I feel like it would have been more awkward if everyone was just silent. But when there were steamier scenes, everyone, like, that, people were wolf whistling, they were cheering, they were like, hey, like, it was actually so funny, and the vibes were good. That's the best way I can describe it. The vibes were good. So it was just a very lovely evening. And then afterwards, as soon as lights come back on, they're like, okay, everyone out off you go. Go. So my meta lady, I don't know what her official name is. I keep calling her my meta lady. Because I know at YouTube it's called a YouTube partner manager, who's basically like the person that like gives you like a monthly review of how your YouTube's channel's doing and how you can do better and things that you're doing well and that kind of thing, and what's trending and I don't know, stuff like that, the algorithm, that kind of thing. But I don't know, is she my meta partner manager? I'm just gonna call her Belle because we're besties now. I had a long chat with her in the cinema, but anyway, and I'm seeing her again next week. But anyway, she was like, I've been to these things before. You gotta run as soon as doors open because getting taxis and everything afterwards, it's a nightmare because you can imagine like all these people leaving at once. So she was like, girl, let's go. I was like, okay, I'm going. Anyway, we managed to zoom off just as it was ending. You will not believe. As I left. So normally the way these things work is because my dad's always like, oh, if you see the cast, you need to get a selfie, you need to get a photo, you need to be brave, you need to be that person. And I'm just like, no, not me, no, shy girl. But as I left, everyone, all the main characters came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the whole Bridgerton family. There's the Featheringtons, like they all just popped out. And like as my brain was processing, we're like, oh my gosh, it's the actors. Like especially as one of my friends, her like celebrity crush, her like she loves Anthony Bridgerton. And she was like, girl, if you see him, you better get a selfie. And just as I saw him, there was this lady and she quickly ushered them all away behind a curtain and was like, famous people, big cheeses, forget about these influencers, like get out the way. You need to come on through here. Okay, get out the way. And they were gone. They were quickly behind a curtain. To be fair, if I was that person, I probably could have like sneaked in, but I did not want to be that person. I was very grateful to be invited to a red carpet. I didn't want to be kicked out and be put on some sort of blacklist, be like, this Esme, banned, Netflix, stalker, weirdo girl, on the red list or blacklist or whatever. So anyway, that was that. And then as soon as I left the cinema, my dad was like so excited. He was like, oh my gosh, tell me about everything. And I just had like a whole evening of small talk with people. And if you know me, my social batteries at the end of the night, and it was quite late, had run out. So my dad is getting all the Bridgerton gossip here today now. So there we go. It was also quite fun because I've got like a management agency that I work with that do all the stuff because I have quite a large American audience in like North America, Canada, that kind of thing. And we were chatting about it all yesterday on a video chat kind of thing. And as I said before, I feel like Girl Dad has been the theme of the last few podcasts and that kind of thing. And we were like chatting about it all, about Bridgerton, that kind of thing. And for some reason, we were like talking about dating, that kind of stuff. And Monica, my management lady, she was like, Esme, you're right talking about this with your dad sat right next to you. I was like, yeah, it's fine. He's one of the girls. So this is like me and my dad's like girly podcast Bridgerton update chat, because on the train home, I've become like, put my headphones in. I just need to sit down, chill, and just it's overwhelming. And it's definitely not a normal thing that I do every day. Like meeting that many people, having a photo taken, it's a bit of it's definitely like an adrenaline rush, and I was like the rush was going, and I just was very, very tired. So I had my girl dinner of popcorn and sweets on the train journey home because I was too excited to eat the popcorn while watching the show. So I don't know, I'm one of those people, when I get really nervous and excited, I just don't get hungry. And then as soon as I was on that train home, I was ravenous for that popcorn. It was very good popcorn though. So there we go. I think that is everything that I can update you on the Bridgerton red carpet, but was a very different Wednesday night to my usual one, but a lot of fun, and I'm just very, very grateful for the opportunity. Alrighty, on that note, I'm going to finish off today's episode there. I really hope you enjoyed it, hearing about my adventures at a red carpet. So definitely, not my usual thing, but was a lot of fun. Also, be sure to check out Red Post. They do incredible things, incredible stuff. You guys know the drill if you've been listening to the podcast for a while. And also, very excited to see you all at that meet and greet. But anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all next time. See ya. Bye.